What's up, Pablo? Can you let me know if you can hear this mic? Let me know if we're coming through clear. Perfect. Thank you.
All right, everybody, I'm back. Let's see if we can get through this one, Nick. What's our problem going to be here? This one.
We're gonna find out at some point.
Well, luckily, those of you who don't watch live, you can just skip around, skip over the stuff. So whatever. But I wanted to give you a tour of the products of the entryway because we have a little different setup here than we do in the back. And so our original plan was to be able to pull cars in and out of here, and the door is a little small. So the long-term plan would be to put a garage door on the front here. Would be really cool. And make this a functional entryway. But now that we have the back area, maybe we won't do that. But this was Rusty's idea to, hey, if we're going to start selling stuff in the villages, we should at least have some area that you can leverage before the place opens. So my plan is we're going to open Middleton probably late next year, but I'd like to start designing and installing in probably April, May, June, something like that. Our plan is to start selling in April and then installing in May, June, this year, and start doing 1-2 projects at a time is my intention. And we actually have our first project we're working on. The one guy who lives down in Matt Rutledge's new neighborhood came here, and you saw him on the live stream the other day. He paid his invoice, and so he's kind enough to be guinea pig on our installation process with our subcontractors. But anyway, the entryway here is fully functional, fully set up. We do have to connect the air compressor, but the air compressor is going to be functional here shortly. But I have functioning pressure washer, vacuum, bucket filler, audio, video, the whole thing. So I figure I'll start here on the MSS Plus array, and then we'll give you, at the end of this video, we'll give you a sneak peek. We'll try to roll over into the, or maybe I'll roll out an MSS Plus cabinet and show you, or sorry, MSS cabinet and show you what that looks like if you haven't seen that yet. So the entryway here, oh, I guess I should talk about the Viper chair here real quickly. So this is the OG Viper chair. Somebody had said that the basic OG Viper chair is actually less money than buying the Viper chair. So, you know, which is weird for us. Normally we're the most money, all the money. But what I'm planning on doing with Viper chair in the next couple of weeks, we have an entire palette of every single accessory, every single chair, every single thing they make. We're going to put that all together, test out all the different accessories again, just to kind of, because they move pretty quickly. So it's been a while since I've never had it all in one spot. So we'll make a video of everything, make it sort of a, kind of like the Quick Checks video where it's an everything video and show you all the differences. I'm going to come to some conclusions. And then I want to modify my chairs, the ones that are mine specifically. And I want to make mine, I want to make a very specific wash version that's all stainless and sealed and you know, basically so you can hose it down. And so that's something I want to make for my washing version, and then I'll have like the, you know, basic garage versions. I kind of like having most of their different chairs. I kind of like having the different versions because they have different purposes. You know, we do different things with different stuff. Is that money? Jose has my front bumper for my Evo 9 front bumper. So if we start in the corner here and kind of work our way around, so MSS Plus, of course. So MSS Plus is, you know, I think, depending on what you're doing, flagship of the garage. I think it's the flagship clean version, and then I look at Rousseau as the flagship custom version. Clean, simple, structured, organized, awesome foam inlay. So I'm buying MSS Plus for the ecosystem. And I can't live without both. Man, if I had to just pick one, I think I'd pick MSS Plus. I know I would. I mean, that's what I would pick. It's for a personal garage. I mean, Rousseau has some real amazing things that are amazing options. But Rousseau is, you know, is overkill. I think MSS Plus is proper. Like it's the proper thing for the garage. The drawer glides, everything just about it just kind of fits the ultra high-end personal garage. And then I'm such a sucker for, this is my favorite drawer, is the half-inch foam inlaid XD, so extra deep MSS Plus. This is like what I aspire to be as a human here. You know, I aspire to be this buttoned up. And it is, I think, just absolutely incredible. Just amazing. I want to say this drawer is about $3,000. So this is probably the most expensive. I think this is the most expensive foam inlay. But this drawer or the 3/8 drawer is freaking awesome. I also love the cabinets are heavy enough that you could, you know, I guess you technically shouldn't, but you could probably open up every drawer with all the tools in them. These drawers are roughly 200-pound capacity, and you know you're going to get deflection on these, and they're not, they're smoother, and they have a little detent at the end that kind of gently closes that Rousseau doesn't have. So I like that. It's not soft close, but there's a, I don't know if it's a bumper, but it just closes a little bit more consumer friendly or garage friendly, if you will. The Rousseau, Sonic, I mean, back when I was selling Lista, I was like, well, you know, Sonic's fit and finish, the corners are squarer, the powder coating's perfect. Same thing on the Rousseau. But really, if you're a garage person and you have the depth, because this is about, I always forget this, on the wall, we have it pushed all the way up to the baseboard. It's 28 inches, like 27 and 15/16 inches deep. So you need the depth, and that's where MSS comes in. You need the depth. If you were to compare to the traditional way that you would do Rousseau, Rousseau is 29 and a half, right? So your, what did I just say? It was 20, let's just say 28. So it's an inch and a half deeper to do the traditional Rousseau mounting method. And so you need some space. You need a pretty deep garage. I mean, I think you'd need at least a 22-foot deep garage, if not 23, 24, to really fit the Rousseau. Now, you can shave, say, an inch out of that if you do, actually mine, let me see, what is the depth of mine at my house? Because I didn't do the wire pipes, so I didn't do this is all self-contained, meaning it's not mounted to the wall. So actually, my Rousseau setup is about 27, because I have my cabinets mounted to the wall. So you could shave an inch off of the MSS Plus. So just keep that in mind as you're thinking about this, that every inch matters when you're building your garage, especially if you have a narrower, like I say, a 21.5 foot or certainly 20-foot garage. You're probably not going to want to do either one of these. You're going to want to do the MSS stuff. And so MSS Plus, the way that it works is there's wire pipes, and so that this pipe here goes down and connects in between the two cabinets, and then there's 3 bolts on each side that bolt through the inside. You take all the drawers out, and then that shores everything up. And so wire pipe, wire pipe, wire pipe, and then there's an end cap pipe here, and so it all bolts together. You put a through bolt through the front to kind of make sure that everything pulls nice and tightly. So before you did any of that, you would level the feet, make sure it's nice and level, nice and square, and then you would wire pipe everything, and then you hang the backers in between, and then you hang the uppers, which kind of hang on the wire pipe. Super simple. That cabinet array took Mike 3 or 4 days to build. This cabinet array took Mike 3 or 4 hours to build. It's just more complex. You've got to drill the countertop. You've got to put lags in. This is, I would say, does this feel? It doesn't feel any sturdier. In fact, I would argue this probably feels a little bit more sturdy than that does on the uppers. But I mean, both uppers are going to hold hundreds of pounds per cabinet, so you're fine. So MSS Plus, and I've said this a bunch of times, but just to put into perspective pricing, not this array, but the array at my house is 24 feet, roughly 24 feet wide. The Rousseau setup was 31 grand. An equivalent MSS Plus version would be 30 grand, like 29 and change. The Pro Slat was around 21, and then the same array in MSS was 16. So, substantially different, price points. The MSS is about half the price of the Rousseau stuff. So MSS Plus opens like so. Rousseau, sorry Nick, I'm keeping you busy here. The Rousseau cabinets do have an advantage that when you do the upper, I do like this a lot. I prefer this method because I'm taller. It feels a little claustrophobic here when I'm underneath this. This opening doesn't go inside. It stays in position here. And so especially if you have a large, like this 50-inch upper, you take the 50-inch upper, put it inside, and then it kind of gets out of the way. We do have to, we're redeveloping our under cabinet lighting. I'm looking for something new. The old stuff we had was problematic, and the pins would tend to break. It's fine as long as you never moved it. But the difference in uppers is really the way that the cabinet opens and closes. But I do prefer this upper, from a use case perspective. This upper is more functional than the Rousseau because it's taller. It's like about 30 inches tall. So then what I always do is I always leave the centers out, and you're going to see this in the back when we put that together this week. Well, I'm going to probably bring my 97 G2 OLED here and from my house, and probably get the G5 for my house, and we're going to create a bracket. But you can usually just take, like this is a 65. This is like the original E5 65 OLED, which is a nice size for the garage, I think, in most cases. And so it'll fit within the span. A 65 OLED or 65 LCD will fit, around inside of a 1540 cabinet. But this is one of my favorite cabinets on the planet, the 1540. The only thing I wish, and the thing that we're going to try to come up with here soon, if we really kill it with Sonic like we think we're going to continue to do, is to make a mirrored version. They only make one type of 1540. I would like one where I could have it mirrored, where the 720 was sort of down the middle. But right now, if you did another one, it would be identical, and so you'd have the 34-inch wide drawers on the same side. So on the site right now, the master collection for MSS Plus is accurate and what you would want. If you're going to buy MSS and you wanted all the tools, you'd buy the MSS Plus Master Collection. I think it's 22 drawers filled with tools, and as long as you get a couple of 720s and a couple of 890s, you can fit it. This is an 890 8 drawer, and then the 1540 has an 890 and a 720 in the middle. And so then we're showing you a couple of different options on countertops here. If you want to go custom, I'd highly recommend this. This is the Blue Tree Rubio Monocoat Walnut Top. It costs, we've got a good percentage of it shipping. It's coming from Kansas City. I want to say this top, you'd have to hit the design people up. This top's probably like $3,000 versus a stainless top like this is probably $1,500. It's about half the price. But Rousseau does make large, like this is a large, like one giant single top. And so they do make really, really large versions. If you want, you can have Blue Tree make you, like if you had a 30-foot countertop, they'll make it for you, but you're going to pay as much to ship it as it is to build it. And I did that for my house in Middleton. It's all one piece. Or if you're somewhere near Kansas City, you can go pick it up if you want. You might be better off go rent a U-Haul, drive it across the darn country, or pay someone to drive it across the country for you. Might make a lot of sense. So then you have some different wide cabinets. These are the 650s. They also make a 965. So this is like the single size. We don't like these as much. They're not quite as useful because they're deeper than they are wide. And so you're generally better off doing the wider 965s if you can. We couldn't fit them here. This array is actually leaving and going into the back, and we're going to just make it bigger because MSS is going to go here when we're done. So the big thing with Rousseau, Rousseau is all about capacity, capacity, capacity. And so this drawer, I mean, I can give it all I got and lean into the sucker, and there's almost zero deflection. You have the industrial drawer organization options, so you can do like the drawer separators, you can do the little red bins, you can do all the different stuff you want. These are 50-inch wide. They go up to 60 inches wide. That's what I have at my house, 60-inch wide version. And we've kind of custom made these where we've chosen the drawer size very specifically so that it fits all your sockets and wrenches and tools, tool gridded properly. But if you're not interested in the Sonic ecosystem, I would highly consider, especially if you want a different color, this is called, I believe, Sapphire Blue. But if you wanted a different color, you wanted something bespoke, something custom, you can make this whatever the heck you want. We're going to do like a really cool green for the Middleton showroom, and Rousseau is going to be like right there, front and center. And we're going to have, actually in the back, we're going to have a whole Sonic room, with all the tools mounted to the wall and stuff like that. So this array we're showing you, it has just like Sonic, they have a waste bin version, and so we're gonna have this. This is gonna stay here, and we're gonna have so we have Rousseau at my house. We're gonna have Rousseau in Middleton. We're gonna have MSS up here up front. We're gonna have MSS Plus in the back, Matt Rutledge is doing MSS at his house, so we'll do a video series on the installation there and show you what it looks like in a normal house. But generally speaking, I'm going to tool grid, buy bespoke tools. You could do sonic foam inlays here if you want to. You would just buy the drawer dividers, and you kind of, pick whatever size drawers you want, and you put the foam in there, and you put the dividers so you can lock it in place. One nice thing would be is you could fit the XD stuff, and then you just have some room on the side to put like tools in tool grid, so you could always do that and organize it next to it. And over here in the corner, we have these coming soon. It's a little foreshadowing. These jacks are actually really nice. All the jacks that I end up with, they always end up being like, $2,000. And so these Sonics are pretty interesting. They're going to be, we're targeting somewhere in the $250 to $500 price point. And the Sonics are nice. They actually match the fit and finish, or they match the look of the MSS stuff. And they're really nice. So they have the steel versions, long, medium, and then they also have the aluminum style. So this is the common aluminum style. Doesn't lift quite as much. I mean, it's still 2,000 kilograms. So what is that? 4,400 pounds. So that's the lifting capacity of the aluminum jack. But these are really nice. I'm really surprised. We've been looking for something that didn't cost so much, and it just so happens that Sonic makes a decent jack. I've bought so many darn jacks, and I've gone to all the different booths. The one place I haven't gone is PRI, where they probably have more jack options. But every time I get a hold of the AC hydraulics are really nice, but they get damaged about 20% of the time in shipping, and they are really expensive. They start at like $600. And so I'll probably still sell the AC hydraulics, but these are actually really nice. And so these aren't in the US, they're not available, and so we're thinking about bringing them in, and so we're working on pricing. Once we get through the holidays here, we're going to start digging into these jacks and see if they make sense. They have really nice casters too, and the casters work really well on Swisstrax. So then in the corner here, it's a little tough for you to see, but this is the little Werther guy. This was the $1,000, $3,000 Werther. I was targeting $1,000. This is what I wanted it to be. And so we have to go back out on the trail to find an actual $1,000 air compressor. I haven't fired this thing up yet, but it's really cool. It's an oilless, super quiet, 30-gallon tank. Really, really awesome, but I think it's like $3,000. So we're going to fire this up here, and we'll probably make a video on it here coming soon. But we'll have a decent target. So you'll have high-end stuff, which we can do. Compact X, which is ultra high-end, small form factor, really, really quiet. You'll have this, sort of the next tier below at, say, $3,000. And then we want to come up with something, again, $800, $900 that's this form factor, or maybe even a little bit smaller. I feel like the California Air Tools stuff used to be the standard, but they're just not great. I mean, I don't know if they changed where they're made or how they're made, but every time I use one, it feels like it's always broken and problematic, and they just don't look very good. So I want the fit, finish, function, and we're looking for something that makes sense for people's garages where, I really value the air compressor. If you just need it for filling tires and blowing out pads, you don't want to spend $3,000 on an air compressor. I get it. So we're going to solve that problem as well. And then we have in here, we have the gray hose reel, so I have the air and power. We're going to run some Prebos up the wall here and make it look pretty. And so this will be functional here coming soon. Swisstrax. So here's your different colors, just to kind of give you, because a lot of our people are always interested in perspective. The quality of YouTube Live isn't quite as good, but there's your difference between slate gray, which is on the floor, pearl gray, and pearl silver.
Almost looks white.
Yeah, it's pretty bright looking. This is only 80 CRI in here, so if you have cheaper lights, this would be a better representation of the color that you're going to get. But these are the three most common colors with a black border. I don't see where anybody's going to buy any of these other colors. Maybe you have some accent, the green or the blue or something like that. But we're hoping to come out with our own blue at some point here soon. We're working on it. We're working on that with Swisstrax. But most people do slate gray. I think it's the best color. So flipping around here on the other side of the room is where we have our single high flow wash station. So the single version, we do have our original version of the pivoting hose reel mount. We've since had a different revision and update for getting ready to launch. 18-inch shelf, K1322, and then we have our new handles to turn on and off your spot-free water, your deionized water. And then we have a meter that tells us we have 307 parts per million total dissolved solids coming in. We have 3.3 going out. And then, of course, we have our standard Gates hose or OG hose, the wrinkle black Cox hose reel with our... So remember, when you're buying hose reels, I see this so often. People are like, I don't understand how you obsessed people can deal with it. It's the best hose reel we got. It's the best one. For rapid reel, Hanai or Hane. I saw there was some reel company at SEMA. I forget the name of it. It was like Duplico or something like that. Cost was the best we got, but they're not selling to us. They should be by now. They're selling to industry. They're selling to people that aren't spending their own money, right? They're selling to the fire department, and the fire department is, using the fire department's money, or they're selling to the maintenance superintendent of a large chemical manufacturer. They're not selling to the owner, and so they get them, they throw them on the wall, and they don't give a crap. And when they break, they just get a new one. And so we are using this professional grade stuff in a consumer garage, and so then we're scrutinizing it because we spend a lot of money on it, so we feel like it should be perfect. And they're not, but it's the best we got, and I'm hoping someday that we can make something. I think there's a real opportunity there. And so we're starting with the high flow wash station, and then we're going to go to be able to sort of bolt on accessories to this. The point of this is that, well, there's nothing that exists that can handle the flow really well of these pressure washers when you're doing deionized water. And then there's no way to mount this on the wall unless you have a frickin' electrician, plumber, drywall guy, framer. You got to hire a bunch of people to get it done. This is going to make it so that it's going to be very easy. If you can get yourself a hose bib, put in position, or it's somewhere nearby, you can run a flex line to it, and you're good to go. So coming soon, we're hoping springtime. Floating shelves will also be launching springtime as well, we think, but floating OG shelves as well with the same finish. And then this setup here, you saw earlier this morning, you saw the black setup. This is the translucent setup, which looks freaking awesome. It's good. We are selling these like insane. We have tons of stock, so we're not going to run out. So order it up. We may run out of the blacks, but we're not going to run out of these.
Top 5 items that we sell are 4 of them are press-on.
Yeah. Number of items, yep.
Sorry.
Yep. And then you saw OG Vacuum earlier today. OG Vacuum, same vacuum here, and claim to fame here. Nice and quiet. Nice, quiet, awesome. One thing I forgot to talk about was the bucket filler. So we have 2 bucket fillers. We have a fancy flex line, insanely expensive one, and then we have a rubber version that is a fraction of the cost. And so this will be coming, what do you think, Nick, a couple weeks? The Dram?
Oh, that'll be up, yeah, later this week.
The credit Jeff Franklin, Improved Garage, for his suggestion for the Dram, which is pretty cool. Check this puppy out. Simple, works great.
Yeah, it's just, technically those are called a water breaker nozzle.
Yeah.
They use it in nurseries and stuff like that. You can change out those plates. So.
It's pretty sick. Works great. It's perfect for this. because I really did hate having to adjust it. Because you want to pick, just pick the best. It's kind of like when you get BMW. I don't want a bunch of frickin' suspension modes.
Can I see your knife?
This is the OG knife, see, with the little spider and the...
That's really cool.
spider and the hex. Yeah. Sorry, I was fidgeting with that. And then, I saw Prior just showed up, so this Prior order just came in, so get your Prior hose bibs as well. And I think that's it in here. Oh, we do have hand tools. So hand tools as well are live and selling. So make sure, like the best gift, just buy it for yourself and give it to somebody if you need a gift for them and say, hey, here, give me the $80 back and give this to me on Christmas because these things are freaking sick. This is what you want. This is like, this would be like the best stocking stuffer ever, Rex, right here. D-nib kit.
We've sold a lot of, we had 40 the other day, we have 15 left.
Shoot.
So people really like them.
We've only sold 25 of them. We need to get moving on that.
That's after we restocked.
Oh, okay, got it.
What I want.
Yeah. Do we still have those? Are those on
I want
doorbusters?
yours and I want you to sign it. Then I'll
Are those on doorbusters? You can have it.
I think we're out of those.
Yeah. Yep. Doorbusters, I should say, also shirts, since we're in here. We're abandoning, the guys are making me abandon some of my beloved shirts. We're going to simplify, narrow down our shirt stuff. So in a few weeks here, I'm going to have this all dialed. In fact, I need to go order some hangers so I can get all our shirts up front here so people can come see them, touch them, feel them. Shirts and hats are also freaking stupid word, doorbusters. Can you still have a doorbuster all the way on Cyber Monday? So yeah, I think that's it. You want to buy some tools. So remember, Sonic MSS Plus, $2,000 of tools. You get that qualifies. You get 10% off your cabinets and 20% off of all the tools.
If you buy the Master Collection, the MSS Plus, it's like 27,000, and it brings it right down to 20,000. So it just like pays for itself.
Well, I promised I'd show them an MSS here. Let me yank one of these out. Actually, probably easier to bring one from the hallway over here.
What's up, man?
Sorry, we're live stream. Why is this so heavy? Is there something in here?
I think it's just the way it is.
God dang! You want to
Tip it
tip
up
it?
and-
Yeah. Yep. Let's do this.
Hope your hands aren't sweaty.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. All right. This thing's freaking sneaky heavy, man. This is 9 drawers.
Definitely heavy.
Yeah. Yep. So this is the 720. Look at how good that looks. And look at this jack. You know, if you had yourself an aluminum jack here. So these will open up, not on sale, but these will open up the 3rd. Just freaking awesome. Look at that. It looks so good. How does it look on camera? Does it look green or does it look gray? Yeah. It's not, it's got a greenish hue to it, but when we showed the video, it looked green as crap. It's like a perfect combination with light gray. Starts at like $5,700.
For an array that's 2 cabinets, a locker, uppers.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Isn't that sick? It's gonna be freaking sweet, man.
Is that what you're gonna have in the garage?
No, I'm gonna have this.
Oh, you gotta have those.
No,
Is that the plus?
I'm a baller,
That's the
Rex.
plus,
These are not.
yeah.
These are not baller cabinets. These are
They're still beautiful.
balling on a budget.
Yeah.
You know, that's what these
Doesn't
are.
look like it though. But yeah, the plus is
These-
the way to go.
But I mean, if depending on your garage, because these are 20 inches deep.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying, versus, so it's like, I think set up, I forget what I'd measured, it was like 22 or something like that. So versus 28, so it's much, much shallower. So when you put the wire pipes on, yeah, see that's 19 3/4, and then you put the wire pipe on, it's like 20 1/2 or so if you can get it all the way up against the wall. And then we're going to make a video here. So the video will launch of the sort of the official launch of MSS. It's Sonic MSS Next, or Next MSS or something like that. And then I'll have a master collection of tools for that as well. And so we're going to really focus 2026 on tools and all the details. Yeah, microfiber 4.0. Nailing, hopefully we can get Mirka to make some more polishers. I wouldn't count 2026. I wouldn't count your chickens on that. Yeah, it's going to be a good year.
An exciting next year. A lot of things.
AR 635. Matt Rutledge just told me never to mention that. We might talk about that a little bit tonight. More stuff from Pressall. Hopefully we'll have our Pressall gallons this year. We're going to have all of our product bottled this year. We'll be launching West Coast operations the following year. It's going to be good.
What year do you buy a jet?
I don't want a jet.
You don't have to. Just Brent's.
Yeah. Yep. This is good. I think that's all I got here this afternoon. So we're going to close out. Why don't we move it up? Let's move it up to 5. So we can get the heck out of here.
5 p.m.
I'm tired.
Yep, so 5 p.m. we're going to be back either in here or in the back, and we're going to do a little preview of what's to come.
Which I kind of already did half of it.
Yeah, well, we did the garage half. You might end up cleaning a pretty nasty leather seat. We'll see.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yep.
All right.
We're closing out Cyber Monday here.
See you guys
So
back
anyway,
at 5.
if you need some help, do me a favor. Wait till tomorrow to get in the queue for the design guys on MSS. But MSS will we'll launch on the 3rd. We'll have all the pricing. We'll have a basic launch page on the website. Same with LeaderMax. LeaderMax is going to launch. We're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to show you the LeaderMax line. We're going to go through all that stuff tonight. So I'll see you in a few hours.